All right, so we're gonna the second to last video on if Rudyard Kipling. Um, we're almost there. So the second last couplet. I guess couplet is technically a rhyming set of two lines, but in this case, I'll just call it a couplet because it's two. Um, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Now, obviously, this is a an analogy to running. So, in sports, you have all kinds of warnings that the game's going to end. In hockey, they say 1 minute, 1 minute remaining in the period. Um, in basketball, I think they give a 2 minute announcement at the end of the period, or maybe of the half. I can't remember. I guess it depends on whether it's college or if it's pro. Um, in football, they actually give you a 2 minute warning where they stop the clock and it's a free timeout for everyone. If the game's out of hand, then it's just kind of a way for advertisers to sell a couple ads. But so this is your 1 minute. It says unforgiving minute. So there are moments in your life where this is going to be tough. If you have, let's say you're at school and you have like 3 exams, 4 exams in one day, which I've done before. You have to cram. You are not going to sleep 8 hours tonight. You are going to spend every waking minute, maybe take a nap so you're not totally foggy. You're going to do everything, and then after the exam, according to your schedule, if you don't have any left or if you have a couple of days, then you can sleep. um, so this is a race to the finish line. And remember, in the earlier line, it says, uh, when there's nothing left in you except for that voice that says, hold on, just hold on, keep going, just keep going. It can be brutal and it can feel like it lasts forever, but it doesn't last forever. And I think the older you get, the more you realize it doesn't last forever. How many of those unforgiving minutes have you lived through? So if you've done it before, you can say, I've done it before. This is nothing. It's a piece of piss. And it makes whatever it is that run that you want to fill that unforgiving minute with, makes it easier. In fact, it's going to be so much easier. Not I'd say it like this. So that you're up against some kind of time thing that where you're going to get punished. Even if it's running, even if you see like I'm going to run to that stoplight over there, and it's maybe half a mile, and I'm not going to quit. I'm going to give it everything I've got. You can go collapse after that. I mean, I wouldn't kill myself getting there, but just give it everything you've got. And it's basically understanding the difference. Understanding what time is and what it takes to fill it in. So it's 1 minute. It's not going to last forever. And if you know that, you can spend 1 minute pretending, or not even pretending, being Superman for just 1 minute. It's a pretty cool thing. You're like, you just go nuts. Recently, I would say the last couple of years, I picked up running mostly because the whole world had shut down because of the pandemic, and the only athletic activity I could do was running. And if you can find a way to do a thing and just kind of give yourself, you have to. It's a psychological trick that you have to play on yourself in order to get over that finish line or to fill that 1 minute of absolute brutal run. It makes you feel like you've accomplished something, even though you haven't really. I mean, if anything, you have accomplished the ability to conquer your mind. Your mind wanted to quit, and you didn't let it. And so, you fill it. The unforgiving minute was 60 seconds worth of distance run. You're giving it everything you got. 1 minute, 60 seconds, right? So you have to go as hard as you can for that period, as long as it's very clearly defined. you can count those 60 seconds, or if it's, if it's a test, if you have one bad day of a test, test after test after test, you mentally prepare for it. Not only just the tests, but you mentally prepare for, I'm not going to get a lot of sleep. I'm going to be absolutely shattered after this. But I have to do this. It makes the pleasure of the victory at the end so much sweeter. Um, Even if it comes quite literally down to 60 seconds, you can count them. You can go one, two. I'm not going to do them all. Don't worry. Um, and then you don't lose any intensity because you know that you intellectually understand that the end of this series of numbers is coming very soon. Um, and you don't lose any intensity until you have long passed the finish line. And in a sense, you're just giving everything you have, nothing less. Often, like when I did rowing in high school, and they talk about these power tens. So in a boat, we had fours. So there was one, two, three, four, obviously. There's a coxswain in front. You call him a cock. You get over that really quick. And he's usually a tiny guy. And he shouts out, he's sort of shouting out, okay, pick it up, speeds, and he's looking. You're facing the opposite. You're facing each other. He's looking, he can see the boats, but you're just sort of rowing, 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 rowing. And you just have to deal with it. And when you're able to deal with, basically you obey him in everything you do, you get better results. And he plays psychological tricks on you. He would just say, okay, power 10. That means it's big 10, big, like just give it everything first. So usually you have to there's a sort of chop sequence that you come up with just to go from stopped to full speed. And then maybe a minute into it, he gives you a power 10. When you hit, the races are 2,000 meters. Once you hit 1,000 meters, you go big power 10. He sees the finish line coming up. He gives you big power 10. And it usually ends up being 15, but he doubles the numbers. 10. He's like, oh, 1, 2, 2. And you're just so into it that you don't even say, not a count, nude. So, but anyway, you talk about, there's other ways. These are very sport-specific metaphors of players talk about, and coaches talk about leaving it out on the field or the ice or the court. And that way, they give everything they have for the game. And that way, if they lose, if they win, they win. Yeah, obviously, it's great and we all love it. But if you lose, you know that you were beaten by a superior opponent and not by your own laziness, your lack of preparation, your lack of will, etc. You just got beat. And then you might find, if you are still in the sport, you say, okay, how can I stop? How do I win next time? If it's basketball, you just improve your shots, improve your passing, study your opponent. If it's rowing, a lot of it's just physical fitness, and as well as coordination with your team. Because if you're not in complete syncopation with your fellow rowers, it just bustles the boat, and you're just not moving forward. You're moving forward and backwards at the same time, and it just obviously you lose time. So I would say, like, to sum all this up, is like, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, why not give it everything you've got? What else are you going to use it for? What is it there for? It's there to give, to do it. You don't get bonus points for having extra energy in the tank. You just do it, So we're almost there. So one more video, and I'll kind of wrap it up there. It was fun doing this because this has actually helped me out, and I'll do a video on that. It's kind of a big personal thing. So anyway, I will talk to you later. Bye.